The Dark Souls remaster is nearly here. It's nearly here, so close. And as such, it's making my fiery sword stand to attention. I'm even looking forward to Blighttown, I want it that much. Yet in the midst of all these massive monsters and f*** you fucking prick enemies, we often bypass another great aspect of this twisted world, the NPCs. Acting as shops, allies, and in some cases, enemies, these weary souls connect the thick lore to the player in ways that make seeking out their quest lines fun and rewarding. So let's raise an Estus flask to some of the best NPCs in Dark Souls 1 today. But this isn't a journey that I'm going to take alone, so I'm going to summon in a little help. And welcome to the channel, Rachel. She's a new presenter here on What Culture Gaming, so be nice. She goes further back with Dark Souls than even the furtive pygmy. So Rachel, are you ready?
I'm so ready, I brought this.
Jesus Christ, where'd you get that from? Okay, with this in mind, I'm Jules.
And I'm Rachel.
And this is the 10 most beloved Dark Souls.
Okay. Beloved.
It's the most 10 most beloved Dark Souls NPCs in Dark Souls 1. Jesus Christ. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to stay notified. Ding, ding, dong.
Number 10, Oscar of ASTORA. It would be fitting to start our list with the one who started it all, Oscar, Knight of ASTORA. It's thanks to Oscar that the chosen undead was able to escape from the undead asylum in the first place, dropping you a corpse with your cell door key upon it. Unfortunately, Oscar's story doesn't end a happy one. He appears to fall foul of a great demon in the asylum, and you next meet him on his deathbed. He gifts you the Estus flask, arguably the greatest gift we could ever receive, and another key to further carry out your escape. Oscar then sadly perishes, leaving you to face the asylum demon yourself. The saddest part is, if you return to this area later, and you will thank me for it, you will find a hollowed, insane Oscar who immediately tries to kill you. You are forced to put him down and watch him die a second time. Sleep tight, we owe you a lot, old friend. Number 9, Big Hat Logan. If there's a rumour in Lord Ran for the size of one's hat governing the size of one's assets, one look at this absolute unit of headwear immediately tells you that this man is clearly a force to be reckoned with. Big Hat Logan is hailed as the greatest sorcerer from Vinheim Dragon School. He's on a quest in search for the legendary regal archives and the powerful sorceries that lie within the dusty books housed there. Sorcerer characters will benefit greatly from this wizard's teachings, and following his questline throughout the game results in acquiring some valuable treasure, powerful sorceries, and eventually some interesting sights.
It means he's naked!
Number 8, Elizabeth. Elizabeth of OOLACILE is a giant sentient mushroom with the kindest old lady voice. She acts as OOLACILE's sanctuary's keeper inside the fantastic Prepare to Die Edition's DLC area, as well as being a merchant selling some pretty cool sorceries and other useful items. She tasks you with rescuing Princess Dusk, the Princess Peach as it were. Elizabeth doesn't exactly make a huge impact on the player's journey, but man, if she isn't just the sweetest old lady, gifting you tasty mushrooms to reward you for killing Manus, and supplying you with gold pine resin, which will make this garden just beyond her quite a bit easier.
Number 7, Knight LAUTREC of CARIM. In the world of the Dying Light, you have to look after numero uno, but LAUTREC is a perfect example of devotion and the self gone too far. His armor is blessed by a goddess who wraps around his body, and he carries a ring that will break if he abandons her covenant. He is blessed, but cursed in a different manner, as he carries on a quest that is much less his own than he might first believe. He appears to the player as a focused and dry-witted individual, and obsesses over the Firekeeper in Firelink Shrine, as he desires her humanity. With this gift for his goddess, he abandons the shrine, leaving it in ruins. If you follow him into another world using a black eye orb, you face the selfish knight in combat. He's not a nice chap, and his goals are less than squeaky clean, but he makes damn sure that you remember him by taking what you hold dear the most in Dark Souls: light and safety.
Number 6, ALVINA. ALVINA is a large talking cat. Oh, you want me to say more about it? Okay. ALVINA has a largely important part to play in the past world of OOLACILE, where she leads the player to the young and frightened Sif, the wolf, providing what is one of the saddest character storylines in the game. After the player conquers OOLACILE and lays Knight Artorias to rest in peace, we love you, ALVINA remains loyal to the Knight and guards the forest that holds his grave. She's a Covenant leader and will encourage you into committing multitudes of murders to help her Forest Protectors Covenant. ALVINA is a harsh but fair leader and will reward you for climbing the ranks and show no forgiveness for betrayal. She cares not how you manage to protect the graves, just that the job gets done. Better not tell her that we went and euthanized Sif too. Number 5. MANEATER MILDRED. The only thing more terrifying than Blighttown's low frame rates is its poisonous leech and mosquito-infested swamp. Venture out into the swamp while human to come face to face with a rather curious invader. This is MANEATER MILDRED, and yes, she's the kind of crazy individual that runs around mostly naked, wearing a sack on her head and brandishing a colossal knife. You know the type. If you do manage to keep your cool and defeat her, she appears as a friendly phantom to help you with the next boss fight, the, beautiful Quelaag?
It's Kellogg's!
Which is a nice, if not confusing, reward for staring into the face of this memorably mad woman.
Number 4, Patches. Patches is a beautiful bastard, isn't he? And I'm not just saying that because he's bold like me. He's a grade A who time and time again throughout the Souls series, as well as in Bloodborne, just loves pushing you off ledges if you get a bit too greedy for your own good. So why is he on this list if he's just such a knobber? Well, because he's so enduring and much deeper than first might appear. It's true that you should never turn your back on this man, but it's not done so that he can rinse your corpse of all its loot, but to punish you for being so greedy in the first place. His purpose of punishing those who plunder is what keeps him from hollowing and sees him make it to the very end of the world in Dark Souls 3. He is a representation of Dark Souls itself. If you let your guard down and follow the path of want, then you're going to get a foot in the spine for your troubles. Little more is known about him, but for being as devious and snide as he is, Trusty Patches sure is one hell of an interesting character. Number 3, Andre of ASTORA. Forever toiling away on his anvil is Andre of ASTORA, one of the nicest and most useful NPCs in the game. Being able to repair your gear and imbue it with new effects is pretty much the only way you're going to get on the same level as this game's difficulty. You might swing past every once in a while and not even notice the man beyond his menus, but he is enduring. He has resisted hollowing because of his purpose to provide you with the means of victory, and he's powerful enough to make it through to Dark Souls 3. So be grateful, this guy is doing you a solid. And speaking of, never engage this man in a fight as he will box you up harder than the ending of the film 7. Those f***ing dropkicks, man. Ouch. Number 2, SOLAIRE. I mean, it wouldn't be a Dark Souls list without some sun bro masturbation, would it? Praise the sun and all that. SOLAIRE is a really important NPC as he's one of the few that will journey with you until the final boss if you can save him along the way. SOLAIRE is one of the most driven NPCs in the game. He's witty and pleasant and always helps out in a pinch, but as with many sources of light in this game, it appears to be an illusion of a much deeper intent. While he might seem to be involved in some jolly cooperations for the fun of it, he's actually on the same quest as you, learning of the chosen undead who will link the fire and taking this upon himself as his destiny. He purposefully allows himself to become undead so that he might fulfill this prophecy, and the further he moves into the world, the more dimly his light shines. If you fail to prevent him turning later in the game, it provides one of the saddest conflicts in the title, and if you succeed, you move on knowing that he is not the chosen undead, but that he will fight beside you until the end. A true son bro he be. And number 1, SEIGMEYER of CATARINA. Oh, SEIGMEYER, bless you, mate. You are too pure for this world, aren't you? Always laughing and jolly, the Onion Knight can often be found in various pickles which halt his progress. Hailing from a far-off country, his armor is laughable at first glimpse, but should you acquire a set of your own, you'll relish the high resistances it provides, and it's always nice to be able to share a beer with a fellow adventurer in trying times. However, as with many other characters, there's a dark tale to tell. Every time we meet Sig, he's in need of our help, and the problem is, the more we help him, the less he believes in himself and the less he feels he has purpose. And those without purpose, hollow. So while we might be doing the right thing by aiding this strange-looking man, we're actually bringing him closer to his end. It's understandable why you'd want to save him, because he's funny, he's brave, and he's supportive, but maybe you should let this next heroic charge be his last. A toast to you, brave Onion Knight.
So that was our list. Let us know your favourites in the comments, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.
Now, let's fat roll out of here. Brilliant.
Hey guys, thanks for making it to the end of the video. Aren't you a star? Don't forget to like, share and subscribe below, and also there's probably more content floating up above my head, so why not check that out as well? Could be a laugh. Probably. 6 out of 10.